is a very important segment because you have heard lies probably all of your educational career about the influence of Christianity. You've been told that it's an instrument of oppression, it's an instrument of slavery, it's an instrument of colonization, it's an instrument of racism, it's an instrument of genocide. That's what you've been taught. And these missionaries were workers of evil. These Protestant missionaries, these Christian missionaries, everywhere they go, they blighted everything. Now, I've got a lengthy story. It prints out to about 8 pages, so I can obviously only hit the highlights. But it's on Christianity Today, and it features the work of a sociologist by the name of Robert Woodbury. This is very, very important, so I want you to pay very close attention to this, because what Robert Woodbury says, based on his research, is that Protestantism has been the greatest force for democracy in the history of the world. Everywhere that Protestant missionaries have gone, they have left behind a legacy of literacy, of education, of the empowerment of women, of economic progress, and more importantly, political liberty and democracy. And it is Protestant missionaries, not Catholic missionaries, he said. And if it's a Protestant missionary who is funded by the state, they don't get it done either. It is he calls them conversionary Protestant missionaries, the kind that our churches send out all the time. They're Protestants. We support them. We don't depend on taxpayer funds for them. They're not paid by the government, anybody's government. And they're out there to convert people from darkness to light. They are the greatest single solitary force for democracy in history. Done more good for political liberty than any other movement of any other kind. And this is based on solid research. Now, here's a little bit of the backstory. 14 years ago, Woodbury was a graduate student in sociology at the University of North Carolina. In fact, the summary is what this guy says: the work of missionaries turns out to be the single largest factor in ensuring the health of nations. Did you get that? The single largest factor in ensuring the health of nations all over the world are Protestant missionaries who are fulfilling the Great Commission. Remember, Jesus told us to go into all the world, wherever you go, teach them to obey what I command you, make disciples of all nations, cease and obey what I command you, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. These Protestant missionaries are out there doing it, changing the world in the process. So Woodbury was a graduate student 14 years ago at University of North Carolina. One afternoon, he attended a required lecture. The lecture was by Kenneth A. Bolin, a UNC Chapel Hill professor, who was one of the leading experts on measuring and tracking the spread of global democracy. And this professor 14 years ago said that he kept finding a significant statistical link between democracy and Protestantism. And he said somebody needs to go out and study that. So this guy did. He started that day, go into the library. I found an atlas from 1925, he says, of every missionary station in the world, tons of data. He found data on the number of schools, teachers, printing presses, hospitals, and doctors. It referred in turn to other alien atlases. He said, I thought this is huge. This is amazing. This is why God made me to research this connection. So he set out to track down the evidence for Bolin's conjecture that the Protestant religion and democracy are somehow related. And by the way, it was Protestantism that built America. This nation was built on the Protestant religion. At the time of the founding, 99.8% of America was Christian. 98.4% of America were Protestants. About 1.4% were Roman Catholic, and about 0.2% were Jewish. So it was Protestantism, the Protestant religion, and the Protestant work ethic that built the United States of America. Now, so Woodbury went out to research this link. He studied yellowed maps. He spent months charting the longitude and latitude of former missionary stations, traveled to Thailand and India to consult with local scholars, dug through archives in London, Edinburgh, Serampore, India, and talked with church historians all over Europe, North America, and Africa. He was digging into one of the great enigmas of modern history, why some nations develop stable representative democracies in which citizens enjoy the rights to vote, speak, and assemble freely, while neighboring countries suffer authoritarian rulers and internal conflict. Gives one example. We'll have to finish this up on the other side of the break. He traveled to West Africa in 2001. Setting out one morning on a dusty road in Lomé, the capital of Togo, Woodbury headed to the University of Togo's campus library. He found it sequestered in a 1960s-era building. The shelves held about half as many books as his personal collection. The most recent encyclopedia dated from 1977. Down the road, the campus bookstore sold primarily pens and paper. "Where do you buy your books?" Woodbury asked the student. "We don't buy books," he said. "The professors read the texts out loud to us and we transcribe." Went across the border to the University of Ghana. Now from Togo into Ghana, went to their library, their bookstore, floor-to-ceiling shelves lined with hundreds of books, including locally printed texts by local scholars. Why the stark contrast? I'll explain why on the other side of the break. Focal Point AFR Talk.